Hey guys, it's Jenny with Art for Good. Today I am dusting off my old springform cake pan, and I'm gonna do something a little different by adding some gold leaf to the background before I do a paint pour on top of it. And I've just painted a little piece here with a black acrylic paint and let that dry. And now I'm going in with my gold leaf adhesive. My goal here is to really just do some swipes and let some of that background show through the gold, so it makes kind of a distressed effect. If you have not worked with gold leaf, it is super easy and it really does elevate any piece of artwork. I have been borderline obsessed with it. It comes in all different colors. I've gotten some rose gold lately, as well as just traditional gold. So I will put in the description below links to all the products I'm using. I have found that there is a preferred or my preferred type of adhesive that is what I'm using today with a paintbrush. So I will definitely link that below as well. The key to this is to let it dry just a couple of seconds, up to about a minute. Just because you don't want the glue to be so wet that that foil is going to come right off of it, but you want it to be a little bit tacky. So it does take a few seconds to dry before you would put on the gold leaf. So you just lay down the foil across your section. I did pre-mark a circle with a pencil. It's difficult to see here because this is going to be sort of a moon or a sun behind this black and white and gold acrylic paint pour that I'm going to go doing on top of this once I'm done with the gold leaf. You definitely want to wear gloves when you're working with this. I have found the gold leaf gets pretty much everywhere. So fair warning, you should wear gloves and do this in a space that you can easily sweep up. So then I'm just going in with a dry paintbrush and going across the entire area and just releasing all of that excess gold leaf. I'm going to touch up a few areas here that didn't quite get any gold on it because I want to make sure that it looks like a circle. All right, now we're ready to do our paint pour. I'm working with only 3 fluid colors today. I'm working with an ivory black, a titanium white, and a gold color. I'm going to use my springform cake pan to just place over that area to protect it as a barrier from the paint as we're going. I have found this creates a really beautiful momentum effect. I have a lot of videos using kind of kitchen objects in these types of compositions. This is a springform cake pan, of course, and I've also used platters, party tubs, you name it. I have a whole playlist that I can link to so you can continue to watch other videos of other compositions with a similar style. All of my paints are mixed with Floetrol and water. And usually I do a ratio of 1 part paint to 2 parts Floetrol, and then I thin it with water until I reach the desired consistency I want. Usually it's about a half a part or 1 full part, depending on what technique I'm doing. In this case, since I'm going to use a hairdryer, I want it to be pretty fluid. And then I'm taking my hairdryer and just going around this cake pan to create a circle effect. So one tip I have is to make sure that you really work most of this paint off of the canvas, especially in the areas right by that cake pan, because you don't want too much paint left on the canvas, so when you remove that barrier, all the paint will flood in and it'll create a lopsided circle. So make sure you just sort of take your time, get off as much of the paint as you can. And then I'm going to go back in with a little more black around the moon, because it is sort of going to blend in if I don't have a little bit of negative space. So I'm going to try this, but I am sort of running out of black, which can happen. So we'll see where this gets us. Just taking a moment here to make sure all of the corners are touched up, because I'm going to go in now with my other secret weapon, and that is metallic spray paint. I'm going to add a little bit of that in the foreground just to make it look a little misty and just to elevate it a little more. Now make sure that you are wearing a face mask when you're working with spray paint. Please do. I will put a link to the one that I use. Even if you're in a well-ventilated area, you definitely don't want to be breathing this stuff in. I feel pretty passionately about this, so please wear the mask and you will not regret it. Now this spray paint is going over the wet acrylic. You can do that, totally fine. You just have to be careful that you don't disturb it once you spray it on, because then it will start cracking and creating problems. So if you're done and you know you're not going to touch it again, you can go ahead and do that just fine. All right, I'm taking off this barrier, and I have decided to go back in with a little bit of black to make that circle a little smaller, just to make a swirl effect. So this is the final piece. Let me know what you think about this technique and this piece in the comments below. And I will leave you with a playlist here of some other similar black and white compositions that you can keep watching. That's all the time I have for today, and I'll see you next time.